Punctuation and capital letters. Need for punctuation marks. Punctuation marks play a crucial role in making our writing clear and understandable. Without them, we might misinterpret the intended message of the writer. For example, what are you looking for, John? What does the writer want to say? Do these words convey? What are you looking for, John? Or what are you looking for, John? Or what are you looking for, John? So, did you get how confusing the words got without the punctuation marks? Hence, it is a must to take care of the punctuation marks while writing our message or article. Principal marks of punctuation. The principal marks of punctuation are 1. Full stop. 2. Mark of exclamation. 3. Semicolon. 4. Apostrophe. 5. Dash. Mark of interrogation. Comma. Colon. Quotation marks or inverted commas. Hyphen. The full stop. 1. A full stop is used to close a statement or a command. She's going for her dance class. Statement. Participate in the group discussion. Command. 2. We use a full stop after abbreviations for titles, names, degrees, etc. Dr. G.K. Singhal, Dr. Girish Kumar Singhal. BSc, for Bachelor of Science. Professor Johnson, Professor Johnson. Sergeant Taylor, Sergeant Taylor. Junior, for junior. Senior, for senior. Captain Harris, Captain Harris. Keep in mind, these days it is common to drop full stop in abbreviation like Mr. and Dr. Similarly, both UNO and UNO are acceptable. 3. We use a full stop to indicate a decimal fraction. 5.93. 00.576. 4. In typography, a series of 3 full stops can be used to indicate an ellipsis, which represents an omission or pause in speech or writing. For example, she waited for his son to arrive, but he never showed up. 5. Full stops are used to separate the different levels of a domain name in internet addresses, such as www.example.com. The mark of interrogation. The mark of interrogation is placed at the end of a question. For example, who is there? You came late, didn't you? Is anybody absent? Quick tip. In informal writing, multiple question marks can be used to express emphasis, excitement, or disbelief. For example, you won the lottery. The mark of exclamation. The mark of exclamation is placed at the end of an exclamatory sentence, that is, a sentence which expresses some sudden or strong emotion. For example, how kind of you. What a great effort. Help. Wow. That was an amazing performance. The exclamation mark can also be used within parentheses to indicate a remark made with surprise or emphasis. She finally finished her novel, after 5 years of hard work, and was overjoyed. Quick tip. In informal writing, multiple exclamation marks can be used for adding emphasis or to convey heightened emotion. For example, I can't believe it. Keep in mind, it's important to use exclamation marks judiciously in formal writing to avoid overuse and maintain clarity and professionalism. The exclamation mark helps to indicate the heightened emotional tone of the interjection. For example, ouch, that hurts. Ouch, that hurts. Hooray, it's finally the weekend. The comma. The comma is the shortest pause in a sentence. It should be used wherever we think we need a pause. Look at the following points to understand the use of comma. 1. The comma is used to separate words in series. For example, the garden is lush, vibrant, and teeming with life. The team consists of players from different countries, backgrounds, and skill levels. 2. It is used to separate phrases in series. For example, the teacher was loved by students of all ages from kindergarteners to high school seniors, diligent and playful, quiet and outgoing. 3. It is used to separate clauses in series. For example, I have a colleague who was raised in Japan, who studied in Australia, who has worked in various countries across Asia, and who currently resides in Singapore. 4. The comma is used to set off a noun of address. For example, Sarah, you never mentioned you're an excellent painter. Can I use your pen, Mom? 5. It is used to separate expressions that are in apposition. For example, the concert was conducted by M. Patel, the renowned maestro. Dr. Jane Smith, the distinguished neuroscientist, was awarded the Nobel Prize. Quick tip: a one-word apposition is usually not separated by a comma. My friend John visited me last Friday. 6. It is used wherever a brief pause is needed to give clarity to our writing. For example, feeling uninspired, she decided to pursue a new career path. We have booked a hotel in downtown Manhattan, a bustling hub of activity. To improve his skills, he enrolled in an online course. The pizza, made with fresh ingredients from Italy, was mouth-watering. 7. The comma is used to separate expressions like yes, no, oh and well. For example, yes, you can play outside with your friends. Well, I'll check if I can join you later. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. 8. It is used to separate expressions like to, however, of course, nevertheless, in fact, sure, etc. For example, in fact, the weather was even worse than predicted. Of course, you are invited to the party. The plan, in brief, is to expand our operations globally. Sure, you are welcome to try any of these desserts. 9. It is used to separate question tags. For example, she's coming, isn't she? You are not interested, are you? 10. It is used to separate reported speech from the rest of the sentence. For example, the coach emphasized, we require only dedicated players. I have no knowledge about these new procedures, admitted Tom. 11. The comma is used to separate the parts of a date or any words following the date. For example, March 13, 2024. Finally, on May 10, 2024, Sachin Chauhan got married. 12. It is used to separate the parts of an address. For example, B4, Oak Street. H1245, Willow Avenue. 13. It is often used in letters after the salutations and after the complimentary clause. For example, my dear mother. Respected madam. Yours sincerely. Yours lovingly. However, the comma in 12 and 13 is now very often omitted. 14. If clause in the beginning is separated by a comma. For example, if you require assistance, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me if you require assistance. No comma. 15. When clause in the beginning is separated by a comma. For example, when I visit Mumbai, I'll make sure to visit your cousin. I'll make sure to visit your cousin when I visit Mumbai. No comma. Quick tip. Use a comma before but when it connects two independent clauses. Do not use a comma before but when it connects a dependent clause with an independent clause. Use a comma before for when it provides additional information but is not essential to the main clause. Do not use a comma before for when it is used as a conjunction to indicate purpose or intention. 16. Study the use of comma in these sentences with but and for. She wanted to go to beach, but it started raining. She wanted to go to beach but couldn't because it was raining. 2. I bought some flowers, for my mother loves gardening. I bought some flowers for my friend's birthday. The semicolon. 1. The semicolon is used between independent clauses not connected by a conjunction. For example, Tom is tall and athletic, Jerry is short and studious. The storm raged outside. Inside, it was warm and cozy. 2. If expression like however, nevertheless, then, hence, thus, for instance, consequently, etc. come between two independent clauses, a semicolon is placed before them. For example, Kathy forgot her umbrella yesterday, nevertheless, she stayed dry during the sudden rainstorm. The traffic was heavy, hence, we arrived at the party later than expected. The colon. 1. The colon is used to introduce a list. For example, the recipe calls for 3 main ingredients: flour, sugar, and eggs. 2. It is also used to separate two contrasting statements. For example, to travel is to explore, to stay is to stagnate. The apostrophe. 1. We add an apostrophe and s to form the possessive of any singular noun. For example, the girl's dress was adorned with intricate embroidery for the special occasion. Keep in mind, we do not need an apostrophe with these words our, your, hers, theirs, whose. Whose purse is this? Tina was sitting here. It must be hers. Note: compare whose and whose bag is this? Who's there? Equals who is. 2. To form the possessive of a plural noun ending in s, we add only an apostrophe. For example, when students' essays were graded, the teacher noticed a wide range of perspectives. 3. To form the possessive of a plural noun that does not end in s, we add only an apostrophe and s. For example, the playground was filled with children's laughter and joy. 4. We use an apostrophe with expression of time, space and money. For example, he took a day's leave to attend his sister's wedding. The hotel was only a mari's distance from the beach. Her hard work was evident in every rupee's worth of profit the company made. 5. We use an apostrophe to make short forms. He's, he is. I'd, I would, I had. It's equals it is. It's equals belonging to it. It's hot today. It is hot today. It's a beautiful dress. What is its price? Note: its and its should not be confused. 6. We use an apostrophe to form the plurals of letters, figures, etc. She received 3 A's on her report card. The document contains several 1990s. He hired 2 PhDs to conduct research for his project. Quotation marks or inverted commas. 1. Quotation marks are used to set off the actual words used by a speaker. For example, "Can you please pass me the blue book?" she asked, emphasizing the color. 2. See how interrupted speeches are punctuated. Rose exclaimed, "I can't believe you did that. I can't believe exclaimed Rose. You did that. Same sentence continues. Comma. Small letter. I can't believe, exclaimed Rose. You did something so wrong. New sentence. Full stop. Capital letter. 3. Quotation marks are used to indicate the titles of books, films, plays, songs, stories, works of art, and radio and TV program titles. For example, I've just started reading Tasar, with love. Ramayana was a very popular television serial. Keep in mind, quotation marks are placed outside a comma or a full stop. I said, I need your help, and not, help. The dash. There are two types of dashes, M dash, dash, and N dash. The M dash, dash, is longer than the N dash, dash, and used to indicate a break in the sentence or to set off parenthetical statements. For example, she couldn't believe it, her dream had finally come true. An N dash, dash, is shorter than an M dash and used to indicate a range or connection between two things, such as numbers, dates, or locations. For example, the meeting is scheduled for Monday to Friday. The hyphen. 1. A hyphen is used with compound numbers from 21 to 99. For example, his birthday is on 25th of June. 2. It is used in writing compound words. For example, the editor-in-chief of the magazine oversees all editorial decisions. 3. It is used in compound adjectives. For example, the fashion designer showcased her latest collection of ready-to-wear garments at the fashion show. Capital letters. 1. All proper nouns begin with a capital letter. For example, names of persons: John, Michael, Jackson. Days and months, but not seasons: Wednesday, July, December. Religions and religious terms: Hinduism, God, Sikhism. Countries, nationalities, races, languages: China, Japan, Chinese. Adjectives, derived from them: Hindi, British, Africans. Specific geographic and place names: Amazon, Mount Everest, Golden Gate Bridge. Schools, colleges, business houses: DPS School, Jessica College. Organizations: Apple Incorporated, Google. Political parties: Indian National Congress. Buildings, trains and ships: Big Ben, Titanic, Vande Bharat Express. Brand names: Coca-Cola, Kia. Special days, special events: First Battle of Panipat. 2. The first word of every sentence is capitalized. For example, the majority of the team voted in favor of the proposal. 3. The first word of each line of a poem often begins with a capital letter. For example, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. 4. The first word of a direct quotation begins with a capital letter. For example, the manager said, "We are considering expanding our operations to this location." 5. While writing the titles of stories, essays, etc., we capitalize all the words except articles, prepositions and conjunction. For example, The Unforgettable Journey, A Tale of Adventure and Discovery. 6. We capitalize the official names of government departments, the titles of high-ranking officials, etc. For example, the Minister of Finance announced new measures to stabilize the economy during the press conference. 7. We capitalize the titles of persons, including degrees, and their abbreviations when they are used as part of a proper noun. For example, Padma Bhushan awardee, Mr. Vijaykant delivered an inspiring speech at the cultural symposium. Lieutenant Colonel Smith led his battalion through a challenging training exercise in preparation for their upcoming deployment. 8. We capitalize the first word and all nouns in the salutation of a letter as well as the first word of a complimentary clause. For example, my dear uncle, dear friend Kathy, yours truly. 9. We capitalize family relationship terms only when they are used with a name. For example, his Aunt Polly gave him this watch. His aunt gave him this watch. Of aunt will not be capitalized when it is without name. Look at these examples of unpunctuated and punctuated passages. Unpunctuated. Let's go out for a dinner. Anna said to Annika, we can try the new restaurant in town. Why not? There is a great place around the corner. Punctuated. Let's go out for a dinner, Anna said to Annika. We can try the new restaurant in town. Why not? Replied Annika. There is a great place around